Hi, it's me again, and this is Carol Varicki from Pampered Chef, and I am welcoming you to my kitchen today. We have been talking about how to do one-pot meals all in one container, and today I'm going to show you a quick and easy dessert called Easy Strawberry Shortcake that you can do all in one pot. Now, what I'm going to do is, this is going to be a two-part live video because it has to actually bake in the oven for 20 minutes. But when I come back to show you the finished product, I will also show you how to make homemade whipped cream in 30 seconds. But first of all, it's such a beautiful day, it's so sunny, I thought strawberry shortcake is a good sign of spring and summer. So I'm going to bring this thing over to where I'm making the dessert, and we will get a little closer here. Alright. First of all, the chicken pot pie chowder we did yesterday was in the Dutch oven rack. That is this right here. It's 4 quarts. This dessert is done in the everyday pan. That is a little shorter, a little smaller. It only holds 2.5 quarts. And this is, both of these actually fit into the slow cooker stand, which you see right there. So what we're going to start with today, and I don't know if you can see everything, I have some strawberries here. This is 2 pounds of strawberries, so 2 packages from the store. And I got out all the stems using our Core and More, which actually takes out the stems. It also takes out the center of tomatoes. You can use the other end to do a melon ball if you want to, or take out all the seeds out of cucumbers. So I have all these strawberries. I'm going to pour them into the everyday pan, and I'm going to turn on my stove because, of course, this everyday pan can be used on top of the stove. So I'm going to turn that on to medium-high on my burner. And we need a couple ingredients to go with our strawberries. And sorry, I'm going to be eating it when I'm done. And so is my husband. He's happy to know that. So let's get that over there a little bit. Alright, so what we need with these strawberries is very simple. We need a 1/2 cup of sugar. I've used one of our measuring cups. We're going to just pour a 1/2 cup of sugar in there. And we also need cornstarch. So I'm going to use our adjustable measuring spoon. And I need a whole tablespoon of cornstarch. Now this spoon is pretty cool because it starts at a tablespoon, goes down all the way to a teaspoon. So like if you only wanted to use a teaspoon and a half, you would only have to use 1 measuring spoon. So we're going to get that cornstarch out of the way. And the only other thing we need is lemon. And let's see if I can get you closer here just so you can see my lemon. Oops. It's down here on my little cutting board. This is one of our bar boards. You just heard about the Forge Cutlery. This is the Forge Cutlery utility knife. This is a great all-purpose knife. It has a lifetime guarantee. If you only want one knife in your kitchen that's going to do a lot of things, this can chop, mince, pare, everything you want to do. This is the Forge Cutlery knife, and I'm going to use it and cut the lemon in half. And then I am going to use our citrus press. Here it is. This is what it looks like. It is absolutely awesome. You put the cut side of the lemon down, cut side down, and it's pretty large so you can fit anything in here. And then I am going to squeeze all the lemon juice out of this 1 lemon into the pan. None of the seeds will go in because it has little holes that prevents that, and the lemon basically turns inside out. Any seed you have gets stuck down in the bottom, and you can wash this in your dishwasher when you're done. So what I'm going to do is bring this to a simmer over medium heat, and we're going to simmer it for 10 minutes to reduce down the strawberries. And then we're going to use a product that many people think is only for hamburger, and that is our mix and chop. This is the mix and chop right here. You can use it to break up hamburger in a pan, but it also works great if you are if you want to chop up berries. So actually, I'm going to use the mix and chop right now and kind of chunk up the berries so they'll cook down quicker. I'm also going to set my timer for 10 minutes. So you'll probably be with me for at least 10 minutes if this works. We're going to start cooking the berries. And we are going to do the strawberry shortcake and the shortcake right in this pan. I have my oven preheated at 400, so it's getting a little hot in here. And can you see how well it's chunking up the berries? Oops, a little hot there. I can turn this a little bit. Hopefully you can see that. We're just chunking up the berries as we go. Be helpful if you could actually see it. There you go. So we're going to chop up the berries. They're going to cook. I've got the timer on. And while they are cooking, we are going to actually make the shortcake. Now, the one thing I want to tell you, we added cornstarch. That's going to thicken. You always add cornstarch with cold water or cold juice. You don't add it when it's hot. So we're going to just chunk that up right now. And did I mention when we were talking about all the rock crocks that every rock crock you buy comes with 10 full color recipes. This is the one that comes with the everyday pan. And I know it's backwards because this is backwards, but it gives you something to do when you're actually cooking. Now we're going to, while those are cooking down, we're going to go over here. Oops, and lost my thing. Okay, we're going to go over here, and I have the recipe right there. And I'm using the large batter bowl. This actually comes with a cover, but we don't need the cover today. I actually have a cup of flour in here, and I'm going to add another cup. Whenever you measure flour for a recipe, it's a good idea to scoop it up and then use the back side of a knife to get an even amount. You don't want to have a heaping cup. You want to have it even like this. We're going to put 2 cups in there. So we're done with the flour, and I usually get my ingredients out of the way when I do it. Still cooking our little strawberries over here. The other things we're going to add to this mixing bowl is whipping cream. So this is going to be really cool. And I'm going to use my Easy Read measuring cup for this. The Easy Read measuring cup comes in a set. This is our 2-cup Easy Read measuring cup, and you can read the measurements from the top, so you don't have to get down and look at it like that. So we're going to pour it in until we have a 1.5 cups of heavy whipping cream. But before I pour it in there, this recipe calls for self-rising flour, and I don't have self-rising flour. So the difference between that and regular flour is that if you use self-rising flour, then you need to add, if you don't use it, you need to add a whole tablespoon of baking powder, which I'm adding right now, and a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. This is the other part of the mixing spoon. This goes from a teaspoon all the way down to 1/8. So we're going to add a 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and we're going to mix it up with the mix and scraper, which is a great scraper. It helps you mix things together. And then we're going to take the 1.5 cups of whipping cream and pour it in. Now the one thing you're going to want to do with biscuits is you don't want to do a lot of stirring, because if you do, they're going to be tough. You want to stir it until all the dry ingredients are just mixed in. So that's what I'm doing here, and this bowl makes it easy to do. We're mixing it all in. And by the way, usually when I do a recipe at a show, I try it out ahead of time, but you guys are my guinea pigs. This looks so good, and it's such a nice day that I thought I would try it out today. So as we mix it in, it's just kind of a wet dough. And by the way, this little mixer is actually every child's worst nightmare, because it gets all the cookie dough and cake dough right off the sides. All right, so now we're going back to the berries, so you can see those cooking on my stove. And the mix and chop is great for chopping, but it's also great for mixing. So I'm going to kind of chop it up a little bit more. And we've got about 5 more minutes to go to cook the strawberries down a little bit. My oven is ready. You heard that go off. And if you have any questions, you can, if you're watching this live, go ahead and put them on there. I'm not guaranteeing that I can answer them just now, but I will answer them eventually. So the one nice thing about the rock crock is you can start a recipe on the top of the stove, put it in the oven. If you were making like a casserole that you wanted to, like we did with the chicken pot pie chowder, you can brown it in the oven, or you can actually put it under the broiler. You can also use this in the microwave. You can use it on a grill, and then when you're ready to clean it, you just put it in your dishwasher. The rock crock is made out of ceramic, so it's not really heavy. So we're watching the strawberries cook here, and now I'm going to use a mixing scraper to kind of stir it up because I've got nice chunky pieces of strawberry. And what I'm going to do is when this is done cooking, which is in about 3 minutes, I'm going to actually use our large scoop. Now we have 3 sizes of these. The medium size is perfect for cookies. The large is great for muffins or to do like these drop kind of biscuits that we're doing, or I use them for my brownie pan also. The medium side is perfect cookies, and the small one works really great for the little mini muffin pans or to make little tiny meatballs. So we're going to stir this up a little bit more. It's boiling. And this is going to be an oven-baked strawberry shortcake, so it's going to be hot right out of the oven. So it's going to be dessert before supper at this house. So right now, I am going to get my dough here in the bowl, and I am going to start. I'm going to stir it up a little bit more. We've got about 2 more minutes. I think that's enough for me to start putting it on the top. Now, all of our rock crocks come with a cover, so we could actually use this cover, but we're going to do it uncovered in the oven. So I am going to just simply scoop up some of this dough and drop it on top of the strawberries. So we're going to just have big hunks of strawberries, or big hunks of biscuits, actually, which will be the shortcake. And you can make them really nice and round if you want. I'm just kind of doing it loosely here. Can you see how that works? You just hit the little handle and it comes right out. So, now I guess I didn't get all the... I'm going to like totally cover the top of this with biscuits, so it's going to kind of have its own topping. And in the recipe, which I will post later, it shows ice cream, but I just can't stand the thought of strawberry shortcake with ice cream. I really think we need to have some whipped cream. So when I come back, I will show you our whipped cream maker, which is awesome because you can actually make whipped cream, or if you want to, butter in 30 seconds. So, watch that for a second. Where are my little... They're not in the cup. All right. I gotta use them. So one of the biggest problems when working in a kitchen is looking for things that you can't find. These are microwave oven grips, and I couldn't find them. So I had to go get some out of my Pampered Chef case. So All right. So I'm actually going to take this off the stove now and put it right in a 400-degree oven. And then I'm going to end this. We're going to turn the burner off first. I'm going to use this. Check out how it looks now. Put it in the oven for 20 minutes and I will be back. So if you have any questions, let me know and I will tell you all about it in a little while.